Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Juricich, and welcome to Hooked on the Playoff-Bound Niners.
Good deal. I'm Mark Naismith. We'll take a look at the win against the Arizona Cardinals. And a big thank you to Adrian Peterson and the Minnesota Vikings.
And I'm Jerry Walker.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go on with that.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm Jerry Walker, and we're going to talk postseason for the first time maybe ever on this show.
Absolutely. We're going to try to muddle through that, and we'll take a look around the NFL. All that is coming up right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is brought to you by
Bay 101 Casino, located at 1801 Bering Drive in San Jose. They can be reached at 408-451-8888 or on the web at bay101.com. Since 1994, Bay 101 Casino.
Badges Cafe. Badges Cafe is located in the heart of Mountain View at 2423 Old Middlefield Way. You can reach Badges Cafe at 650-967-7477 or on the web at www.badges.com. Go Niners! College Plaza Shell. College Plaza Shell, located at 1400 West Hillsdale Boulevard in San Mateo, providing automotive service since 1987. You can reach College Plaza Shell at 650-573-7959. That's 650-573-7959.
Psst. Hey, need some video work done? We can do that. We do all that video stuff. We can even put your video on that internet thingy. At Peninsula TV, we do full-blown in-studio production, talk shows, performances, speeches, anything. Remote multi-camera production, on location, at your event. And for the budget-minded, single camcorder production in high definition. We'll take your video project from first idea to finished product. For more info, contact Peninsula TV.
All right, all of you out there can relax. We made the playoffs. I know that after the loss up in Seattle, it kind of looked like, well, we even beat the Arizona Cardinals. But let me start with this. It's amazing how one play can affect the game, and that being the catch that Ted Ginn did not make, and the ball goes down to the 1 yard line. We spent an entire quarter trying to get out from under that field position.
A lot of 3 and outs. I think the first 3 or 4 were 3 and outs, and Arizona, everybody started squirming a little bit, including me, but they pitched up their pants and played a good second half and dominated the game. But it was not a good way to start.
No, and you've been around the NFL for so many years. Seeing something like that reminds you of anything? I mean, games the Niners played where they probably should win big and don't.
Well, sure, and it happens all the time. But what happens is with time, you forget those games. You don't remember the big wins. You don't remember how you and I talk every now and then about the championship game in '81.
Yeah.
And how many turnovers we had, interceptions and fumbles, and still won that game.
Yeah.
So it gets a little hairy, but you got to keep the faith.
Yeah. Absolutely keep the faith. I guess let's talk about the things that stand out about that game. One of them's got to be Crabtree.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's taken his fair share of criticism on this program, but he has, I think, very nicely blossomed into a guy that only because of the plethora of, don't go run for a dictionary, I don't know what it means either, of wide receivers in the NFL, he's not going to Hawaii.
Well, and it wasn't just yesterday. It wasn't just this past weekend.
Right.
He's played well all year from game one. He's been a key to that team's success all season long.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting better and better. And he would be a guy, if I were looking for someone I had to throw to, I'd throw to him.
Not to focus on the negative, but we talked about this.
But let's.
Yeah, right. Why not? That's why we're here.
I'm glad he gives you the negative.
A.J. Jenkins makes the field and kind of looks like he needs street signs to tell him where to go.
Yeah, well, the broadcaster said that, and this is very curious because the guy is supposed to be a pretty cerebral player and good student at Illinois, and he seems to be really, really struggling with the NFL game. And as you said, the first ball that's thrown to him, it kind of went, where'd that go? And kind of went right past him. And so heaven knows what's happening. And it becomes so important now with Manningham out and Crabtree being the guy that somebody is going to have to do the proverbial stepping up because teams are going to figure out how to put more players on Crabtree, so somebody's got to catch the ball besides him.
Yeah.
He's going to be okay.
Okay.
Again, looking back, Jerry Rice's rookie year, Jerry dropped a few balls his rookie year.
I remember at the time I was covering the 49ers, and there was rumbling up in the press box about why is this guy still in games? I mean, he was dropping 20-yarders over the middle with nobody around him. It was a struggle.
A lot of that is self-imposed pressure. You want to do so well.
And if anybody that's ever met JR shook his hand, you'd wonder, how the hell did you drop anything?
Yeah.
He's got the most massive hands you'd ever want to see. Yeah. All right, one thing about the 49ers that I think is kind of worrisome, on consecutive plays running to the left, 33 yards, 9 yards, 11 yards. Justin Smith makes a whole lot of difference, not only in the running game.
Not only in the running game, definitely he helps the pass rush too.
Yeah.
But that week off is going to help a lot, I hope. I mean, it's not going to be by the playoffs, but by the time the Niners get to play, he'll have some rust under his belt.
Absolutely.
And they're being very, and correctly so, close to the vest about that injury, but it could be worse than we all think. But it's clear what he means to this team. I mean, I don't think Alton Smith, and not that he's not a good player, but has had a sack since Justin's been down, and they can just do different things with both of them together. So he needs to play for them to move on, in my opinion.
Okay, and LaMichael James, we lamented many, many times on this program, if you're a regular watcher, about where is he, wasn't quite ready. Well, apparently they know what he was doing, because he looks like he's ready to be an NFL running back now to me.
And plus his returns are keys to the squad too.
Yeah.
But he's playing like you thought he would from day one.
Yeah. Kaepernick seems to be getting better.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he strapped on some confidence yesterday, made a lot of good throws. That one ball he threw going to his left, like to Delaney Walker on a rope from about 30 yards, kind of indicated to me why he's playing. I mean, he can make some incredibly athletic throws, and he's maturing as an NFL quarterback, and I like him.
Yeah.
At the same time, I love the crowd response to Alex coming in the game.
Wasn't that great? That was great. Didn't Bill Walsh used to say we got about 30 seconds, hardest thing for a right-handed quarterback is to roll left and throw?
Yeah.
He seems to do that with
his arm is unbelievable.
It absolutely is unbelievable. We got about 15 seconds. David Akers.
Well, I think that's a big issue for the playoffs. I was happy they trotted him out there for that last field goal. Had he missed that one, which he didn't, it would have been not so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to go around the league and take a look at some playoff stuff and whatever comes to mind right here on Hooked on the Niners. We're going to do whatever the hell.
Brought to you in part by Barati & Karad, CPAs, providing income tax and accounting services to individuals and the business community since 1986. Located at 1100 Larkspur Landing Circle in Larkspur. They can be reached at 415-461-8500 or on the web at www.pccpas.com. Let's go Niners! Woodmont Real Estate Services, a friend to the community since 1963. Woodmont Real Estate Services is located at 1050 Ralston Avenue in Belmont, California, and can be reached at 650-592-3960 or at www.wres.com. Vivace Ristorante. Vivace Ristorante is located in the heart of Belmont at 1910 Ralston Avenue. They can be reached at 650-637-0611. That's 650-637-0611 or on the web at www.vivacerestaurant.com. Gando Design. For 25 years, Gando Design is located in Redwood City. Their website is gandodesign.com/specials. Gando Design, a proud sponsor of Hooked on the Niners. Peninsula TV is now live streamed on the internet. Watch us from anywhere you have an internet connection, on cable, on the net, and on that fancy mobile device. Just go to pentv.tv.
All right, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. Let's go around the league, and we're going to talk a little bit about playoffs. But before we do that, if I had to pick one play in the season, regular season for the 49ers, that would be the play of the year, it would have to be the injuries to the two guys.
All in one play.
All in one play. All in one play.
Hunter and Kyle Williams.
Yeah, Hunter and Kyle Williams. 2 injuries within 2 feet of each other. 1 cart. It's like 1 cart, no waiting. 2 chairs. Remember that? Just hop on, and that was huge.
Huge effects.
Yeah, had a huge effect on us. We'll talk about that later. All right, let's go through the playoffs. I don't know which games are on Saturday and which games are on Sunday. You guys probably know this stuff.
Absolutely not.
You don't? Okay. Yeah. Well, that's
we
why.
know who's playing though. That's good.
That's why they call it Wild Card Weekend.
Probably the most interesting of the 4. We have Seattle, Washington, Minnesota, Green Bay, Indy, Baltimore, and Cincinnati, Houston. Probably, to me, the least interesting is Cincinnati, Houston, although you like Cincinnati.
I do.
I like Cincinnati.
Do you really? Okay. And
it's because Terry's from Ohio, so he's
right.
He's
yeah, exactly.
I'm a Bengals fan.
They're playing good.
But the most interesting might be Seattle, Washington, with those 2 young quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
We were just talking about never in NFL history have 3 rookie quarterbacks brought their team to the playoffs, and we have that with Andrew Luck, RG3, and Russell Wilson.
Well, I think it's a very, very toss-up type of game. Both teams playing well. Seattle maybe a little bit better defensively, but they're both on a roll, and I think that's anybody's game. But these are both 2 emerging teams who've played very well down the stretch. So there you go.
Yeah, it's interesting that they now consider Seattle the toughest road game in the NFL, but in your day with the 49ers, it was Washington, was it not?
Washington was a tough road trip. Those were my glasses if you heard that bang.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Washington was a tough road trip. New Orleans was always a tough road trip.
How many fingers am I holding up, Jerry?
Washington's a tough place to play. It's a good thing that Washington didn't have a week off to get some people healthy.
Yeah.
I think it helps Seattle. Seattle goes in there, and I think Seattle maybe upsets Washington. I hate to say it because I'm a Redskins fan, but and I hate Seattle. But think about it. Seattle did us a favor.
How?
In that game against Green Bay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
We get home field advantage, and we still win the division. So
we didn't talk about that in the first segment. I mean, things just broke as perfectly as they could for the 49ers to get the 2 weeks off. Yeah. And Minnesota, as you said in the open, the tease. Big favor for us there. And speaking of that, now Minnesota has to go back and play Green Bay in Green Bay outdoors this time. Yeah. What is this, the 3rd time in 5 weeks that they're playing them?
Yeah.
3rd time in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That ever happened when you were?
Well, not with the 49ers, but Green Bay and Arizona did that a couple years ago.
Exactly.
They played each other in the season finale, and the next week played each other.
And that ended on a sack of Rodgers, and a ball was kicked in the air by someone's foot, and the guy ran it in for a touchdown. How do you see Minnesota Green Bay outdoors?
Pretty tough sledding, to use the word for the Vikings.
Nice.
I just, last year the Giants went in there and beat them, but that was Eli Manning, not Christian Ponder. I think the weather will be horrible, and it's not a dome game, so Adrian Peterson perhaps is not going to be the factor. Rodgers is just like a machine yesterday. He's just, it's like, don't give this guy the ball back. I would be shocked if the Vikings would win this game, but you never know. They got to play him, don't they?
I like Green Bay.
Is he the best quarterback in the league?
Wow, he's got to be one of the best. That guy in Denver's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's
the three of them are just playing, and Brady too. I mean, another big game, and Drew Brees had a very, very good year quietly on a team that's kind of disorganized and disoriented, but. These 4 guys are just playing this game at the highest level right now. It's incredible.
Cincinnati going down to Houston. You've both said that you kind of like Cincinnati. What is it about the team that gets you?
Well, I like Andy.
Okay, Andy
I like their
Dalton.
quarterback.
Yeah.
I just think they're starting to play a little bit like the older Bengals that were successful.
Yeah.
The defense is in your face the whole game, and the offense is playing some pretty good ball.
The tie-in between the Niners and Andy Dalton might be that in that draft a couple of years ago when Cincinnati took Andy, the 49ers probably said, there's another quarterback that we better move up and make a trade and get Colin Kaepernick. Yeah. You like Cincinnati too? You like their lines?
Yeah, I do, absolutely. Yeah. And A.J. Green has certainly turned into a kind of a down-the-field sort of a guy, and Cincinnati's really emerged a good team. And Schaub seems to be a little down right now. His last 3 games, he just seems to be on a little bit of a funk,
What is it with him and Matty Ice in Atlanta? As the lights get brighter and Tony Romo, holy smoke, after that thing last night, as we're taping this, Dallas lost, obviously, last night. But I don't know. I stated to you guys, if it was the Niners playing either Houston in the Super Bowl, obviously it would have to be, or Atlanta, I could sleep the night before that. That wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, not that I don't sleep, but,
I think, it's that indoor team, indoor stadium that
Yeah.
gives you. When's the last time an indoor stadium team won a Super Bowl? I guess St. Louis.
Yeah.
Maybe that may be the only one.
Yeah.
But I think Atlanta has not gotten any respect all year, and I'm not quite sure why, because they've been playing pretty good ball all year.
I don't know. Are they that good defensively?
Well, they're way better. I mean,
Yeah.
thanks to Mike Nolan. I wouldn't say of all people, but
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
very good
Well, you just
defensive
did.
guy.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I just did.
Right,
He's
yeah.
a good defensive, and that's always been their downside. I mean, they've always had pretty good weapons. You know, Julio Jones, Turner, and Tony Gonzalez, and
Roddy
I
White.
agree. They're Roddy White. They've got a lot of pistols on that team. So,
Yeah.
what about Andrew Luck? Is he going to go in and take care of John Harbaugh and
That's
company?
my new favorite team, other than the 49ers. I always look and see what New England is doing with Tom Brady, and then of course when Mike Holmgren was at Cleveland, I was concerned about them too. But now it's Indianapolis with Andrew Luck. Absolutely amazing what he has done. My son and I were lamenting as we were watching the game yesterday. Why didn't we put some money on Indianapolis up when we were up in Tahoe? Put $100 down on them to win 11 games. You'd win a little.
Easy after you've seen what happened.
Well, yeah.
I'm a great bettor that way.
Yeah, right.
Great idea for a new show. Hooked on Gambling.
Hooked on Gambling, okay. But Indianapolis, I mean, if you look at them, on one hand you say there's not a lot of talent there. But like Ty Hilton's coming to the forefront.
Absolutely.
They've got just a few.
How about good old Reggie Wayne? Boy,
Reggie
he's caught 100
Wayne.
balls this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
but it's amazing to go from 2 wins to 11, Mark. No,
Right,
who does
absolutely.
that?
Well, not too many people. I mean, Luck has been the man. I mean, obviously playing with great emotion now with Chuck Pagano back, and they're playing good.
Story.
I think that'll be a very good game.
Can they beat Baltimore in Baltimore?
I think they can.
I mean, Suggs and Ray Lewis are supposed to be back for that.
I was, before you even said that, I was thinking Baltimore's defense is such that if anybody's going to have a tough time to go into Baltimore and beat them in Baltimore in that weather. Yes, they can.
Yes, they can too.
But Ed Reed back there, I remember an interview, just quickly, we got to go to break here. Somebody was asking Andrew Luck about what he's seeing downfield, here in the NFL. He goes, sometimes I come up, I don't know what I'm seeing. And you can imagine he's going to have a little tough time with Ed Reed. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the possibilities that the 49ers might face in a couple of weeks, right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is brought to you in part by Old County Custom Framing, located at 1339 Old County Road in Belmont. You can reach Old County Custom Framing at 650-596-2767. That's 650-596-2767. Go Niners! California Catering Company of San Mateo, proudly serving our community at 233 West 20th Avenue in San Mateo. California Catering can be reached at 650-345-4811, extension 1. The San Mateo Credit Union, serving San Mateo County for over 60 years. They can be reached at 650-363-1725. That's 650-363-1725. Or on the web at www.smcu.org. San Mateo Credit Union.
Hey guys, Will Durst here for my good friends, acquaintances at Penn TV, the place for what's happening in San Mateo County, and lots more too. Visit Penn TV on your local cable TV provider, or live on the web at www.penntv.tv. Hey, they do good stuff.
All right, welcome back to Hooked on the Niners, and hold that thought. We'll talk a little bit as best we can as we look into our crystal ball. Who might the 49ers be playing? If everything plays out, you would think that Green Bay would beat Minnesota, and Green Bay would come here. So a chance to play Brett Favre.
Thank God.
Aaron Rodgers.
Just as bad or worse.
Aaron Rodgers and company here.
See, now you could have said Brett Favre's replacement.
Yeah, right. I could have, but I wasn't. I'm not as smart as you. What do you think of a matchup like that?
Scary game.
I know it scares you.
Scary game.
Doesn't scare me at all.
They're good for you.
Yeah.
Did you watch Aaron Rodgers yesterday?
I did.
Did you watch him throwing that football all over the
But
place?
I look at Green Bay's defense too, and
no, they're not so good.
I would think that the 49ers could score 28 against them, and we could hold them to 21.
It's possible. If we can hold them
Why
to
did I know
21,
that was
I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, and you want a pass rush, obviously.
Well, no, I mean,
okay.
I think the issue is Justin Smith. If he is banged up, I think it's a very precarious circumstance for the Niners. If he plays, they're the one defense that is fast enough that I think they can stay with Green Bay and not have Rodgers do whatever he wants. But boy, is he playing at a high level right now.
Can the Niners, afford to bring in a new kicker at this point?
Well, you definitely got to consider it. Got to consider it. I mean,
but so much of a kicker is the team depending on you that if we get down here, we know Charlie will make it, or Fred.
Right now,
whatever.
you don't know Charlie will.
Yeah, well, but you don't know if you get a new guy off the street. Yeah, he's kicked him in practice. We haven't seen you kick him in games. I mean, if you don't take that chance and get a new kicker, how does that change what Harbaugh's going to do? I mean, this was a team that was kind of, based on the field goal.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's going to change his offensive strategy and when to go for it, not, or what plays to call, won't it?
You don't go for a 63-yarder right now. I know that.
No, you
even
wouldn't.
Though his long is 63.
63 in Green Bay.
Maybe in 2 weeks he's healthy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he needed was a 2-week break. But right now he's not healthy or something.
Yeah.
Big issue.
If Green Bay doesn't beat Minnesota, then we play the winner of Seattle-Washington, correct? So of those two teams, I mean, obviously it's going to be a marquee game no matter what. I mean, a third game with Seattle here would be wonderful, but a chance to see RG3 would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. I'd rather see RG3 than Seattle, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think Seattle's playing really good. They had a kind of a little test yesterday against the Rams, but they're playing really good. Very good defense, fast. I think they give the 49ers problems, and that rivalry has completely emerged, so the game becomes more emotional. I'd rather see Washington if that's the case, but I don't think it's going to happen.
If we're destined to play in the Super Bowl, I said that.
Yeah.
If we're destined to play in the Super Bowl, I'd rather take on Seattle. That would just be such a power. It would give us so much momentum and power.
Well, there was a time in your tenure with the 49ers as the PR director where something almost exactly like that happened when we had to play the Rams a third time. And when they came to Candlestick Park, the Rams, and especially Jim Everett, had a swagger about them, and the 49ers just dusted them.
Ronnie Lott
manhandled them because of a big play. Ronnie Lott early in the game blocking a ball towards Flipper Anderson, I think it was.
Wow.
But I think.
Does Ronnie have any eligibility left?
Yeah. Boy, do I wish.
Yeah, I wish.
So, I mean, that would be interesting to see. Let's go around the league a little bit and hand out some awards. If you had to pick a most valuable player of the league, who would it be?
Of the entire NFL?
Well, isn't that what they do?
That's a tough question.
They do.
This year.
Wow. Adrian Peterson and Peyton Manning are certainly in that conversation, I would think.
And those three rookie quarterbacks you mentioned a little while ago, they all got to be running.
Well, you could make the case who was more valuable to his team than Adrian Peterson, but how about Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck was pretty valuable. RG3 was pretty valuable to his team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that kid up in Washington.
Yeah. Well, how about the worst offseason signing of the year? Could it be the backup quarterback up in Seattle that's making
some others, but
$40 billion?
Yeah.
Pretty expensive.
He's a partner with Nike now, isn't he?
But not to pile on them too much, but, they're going into the season with no quarterback, and then all of a sudden they get this guy in the third round who's 5'11", and all of a sudden...
I don't think he's 5'11".
Well, whatever he is, he's... Whatever, if he's 5'1", he's darn good.
Yeah.
And so, the signing was a roll of the dice. Obviously, they spent a lot of money, but quarterback is the position in the NFL. We talk about that day after day after day. So there you go.
He's not a tall guy, and if he put on a few pounds, he could be on this show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who coaches him is Coach Mack's son, I believe, is the quarterback's coach up there.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. Anything else around the league strike your fancy? What caught you about this? I mean, three rookie quarterbacks doing as well as they have been, and we didn't even mention the running back in Washington.
Yeah, David Turner.
No, in Washington.
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah. No.
Morris.
No, Morris.
Yeah.
Wilson plays for...
We'll get it right. You may want to go to your refrigerator right now, get a little snack or something like that, and we'll straighten this out.
I think the thing that surprised me this season was the two indoor teams that we talked about, Houston and Atlanta.
Yeah.
I didn't think at the beginning of the season that they would be in the running at all for a playoff spot, and they both have good years. both of them have sort of slowed down towards the end of the year, but both of them have had good years.
Tough years for the New York Football Giants, and the Detroit Lions I thought would be a lot better, and some people thought the Bills would be good, so here are three teams that
their coach got fired. Chan Gailey got fired.
Were kind of underperformed, but the Giants maybe more than anybody, I think, huh?
It's too bad about the Lions, because I was hoping they'd have a better year, but I feel so bad for the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we said the worst off-season signing was Matt Flynn. You know, I'd like to, maybe we'll have another toss-up here. Bringing Tim Tebow in didn't work out too well, did it, in New York? And you said that you thought that might be a place where Alex Smith could line up. I mean, basically they fired the general manager and they kept Rex Ryan, and Rex likes to ground and pound, you know, with the ground game. And manage the game, and Alex Smith, that's what he does.
He's leaving the regular season with the second highest passer rating in the NFL behind Aaron Rodgers, even though he didn't play all the games. So he's going to be a very desirable commodity for a number of teams. Kansas City, Arizona.
Okay, all right, relax, kids.
I would think Arizona would want to look at him. Certainly the Jets would have to.
Yeah.
Maybe Jacksonville, but the Jets, you know, got to be a relatively attractive place to play, I would think.
I think the Jets made a mistake. I think they should have fired Rex and kept the GM.
Well, but wasn't it the owner that wanted to bring Tebow in?
Well, I don't think he got fired because of that. I just think Rex did a poor job of coaching all year.
Yeah,
I said it.
Yeah, right. And you know, when you have all that bravado and that, you know, we're going to do this, that stuff just goes away in a hurry.
Yeah.
It really does go away in a hurry. Where do you see the possibilities of Alex Smith ending up? I mean, we're assuming he's not going to be here in San Francisco, and we've all been proponents of his from day one, and I was really proud of the 49er fans who greeted him well when he came into the game.
And when he came off the field, Alex.
Oh, I got goosebumps,
I hope that he's back. If everyone wants him back and he wants to be back, I hope so.
Yeah.
If he's not back, I think Arizona would be a great place for him.
It would. And you know, San Diego might be a good place. I mean, if they're going to blow it up and get rid of Rivers and bring in another guy.
How about Oakland?
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Smith could be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's back. It's just going to be where's the best fit for he and his family, and I think he'll have plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
But Arizona also might not be such a bad place, so we'll wish him well, whatever happens.
Well, as we tie a bow around this, I think we'll all agree that 11-4-1, pretty damn good year. I heard today that not even Bill Walsh had consecutive 11-game seasons, 11 wins in back-to-back seasons.
That's got to be wrong.
No, it's right. He didn't have consecutive 11-game seasons.
Wow.
And Harbaugh did. And so good year to the 49ers. Now, as they go on a bye, we'll take a little bye week and rest a little bit and be back with a playoff special down the line right here on Hooked on the Niners. Yeah, not even Bill had back-to-back 11-win seasons. How about that?